Just the Tips.
All right, everybody, it's Adam and Mike with Just the Tips Podcast, number 36.
Yeah, dude. Big
Vacation and review.
I'm sad.
Why are you sad?
Well, vacation's over. Vacation golf is over. I feel like we didn't get enough
We didn't
vacation
golf. We didn't golf enough.
We didn't go.
No.
That's
okay.
okay. That just
It's
means
all right.
2 more trips of vacation golf in the rest of the year.
It was a wonderful vacation. You planned the vacation. I think the families had a
Planned.
great time. Well, I went with the flow.
The plan of no plan.
I went with the flow.
Yes, you did.
And that's hard for me to do. But did I
could
flow?
tell.
Did I
but I
flow?
could tell it. I could tell it took effort.
It took effort to go with the flow.
Yeah.
To relax, just sit down, let things come to me. Yep.
Yeah. I asked you. I said, "What would you have done differently?" And you said, "18 holes every day, beach, restaurant
Every day.
Every day." That's a lot, dude.
The difference would be is that I would have researched the restaurant that I would have went to every night and already known what I was having like a month in
That's no
advance.
fun.
That's no fun.
That's no fun.
Then you just have to execute the plan. Then
That's
look
no
at all the things you have to look forward to.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes you just go with the flow, dude. It's a beach vacation. So
I went with the flow.
So we talked about this, and you said after you answered that, you said I didn't say it would be better, but that's just what I would do differently.
Yeah.
Now here's the deal: when I go to like Disney World and I'm trying to maximize my vacation, I'm that way.
Yep.
This was a beach chill vacation, bro.
So here's
Chill.
the things that don't happen when you plan everything to the minute, right? Karaoke with the girls doesn't happen.
Yep.
When Mike, what was your favorite song that you broke out there?
Unbreak My Heart by Tony Braxton.
Unbreaking My Heart was epic, and come to find out, I don't know the words to any Taylor Swift song.
You thought it was the Mickey Mouse.
I thought it was oh Mickey, oh Mickey, and they're like no.
Yeah, those things.
So things like
card
that don't
games
happen.
and
Dude,
you know.
I haven't playing
Playing the guitar
dude.
second night.
Nobody
all
ever
night.
wants to listen. Your wife is a gem. She's like, you're so good at guitar. I'm like, I'm awful. You have another tequila because I'm not that good, you know. But that was the thing was, making breakfast in the morning and dinners at night and stuff like that. I got to have Mama Romano's famous jambalaya.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
That doesn't come from a restaurant.
Yeah, dude. So let's just go with the flow. You know, we had an Airbnb.
flowing.
It was awesome. It was a good time.
Just flowing. And
But we just didn't play enough golf. And
so-
I was hoping to that like by the second half of vacation that if I was like, hey, we need to play some more golf, then we would like we'll just go play.
Yeah.
But then the storm rolled in.
We got whacked with a little Storm Debby, and it made for a very nice vacation. But just all of our gear was wet. It was like Puerto Rico 2.0 all over again, where just that humidity, just nothing dries.
Well, I mean, we still played at the ocean course in the rain.
So
in Tropical Storm Debby.
yeah. So since the day I met you, you've talked about Kiawah,
Yeah.
and every podcast that we've had, this is 36 in a row, we brought up Kiawah, and every time we play a course, and I'm like, that's great. You're like, it is, but we should see it's not Kiawah.
I don't put it on that much of it, do I?
You do, and it's okay. Like I said, first off, you worked there for 8 years, and secondly, I know it's one of the greatest courses in America, you know. But the thing is you had me so hyped to play it that's all I could think about. It was just a crowning jewel on this great trip. Now 3 hours away from Myrtle, right?
Yeah,
And
the ocean course.
It's only 2 hours outside of Myrtle, but once you get there, it's an hour from the gate to the course.
Yeah,
once you're on
a long morning drive every day to the office.
So that was the one thing that blew me away was the guys down there and going, where do you live? Charleston. How long does it take to get to work? An hour, right? And then an hour home every
day.
And I'm like, and it's not that far away.
No.
It's just a lot of 30-mile-an-hour zones. And a lot of, But,
and you can't speed on that island. Guys, don't speed on Kiawah.
No. 12.5-mile-an-hour speed limit. They'll bust you for 13.
But we knew the night before, Puddles was texting us. He was like, hey, I hope this storm doesn't screw us over. But I was like, all right, dude, well, if anything, we're still coming down. We'll try to film some content. We'll get in the pro shop and film some stuff, talk to some of the guys.
Yeah.
We got there. We left the house at 6, right?
Mm-hmm. 6. We were down there at 9.
Got there like 8:50.
And, my impression, though, and this is my first time, was once we got on the property And again, it's broken up through a lot of different properties.
Yeah.
But once we got out there, you realize that this is the adult playland of the super uber rich and famous.
Yeah.
I was just recently in Newport, Rhode Island, where like the Vanderbilts have mansions. Those are cool, a little stuffy. These are super cool, dude. This is like contemporary luxury.
I think the coolest thing,
finest.
the coolest thing is like their houses on golf courses, right? So to me, they're just rich people who have houses on golf courses, man.
They're just like us.
And they're not. It's not like celebrities. I mean, there are a couple celebrities that have houses out there, but they're people that you don't even know, dude.
Yeah.
And you caddy for them, and they're just normal dudes. And then you find out afterwards, like, oh, that guy's a billionaire.
Yeah. So again, I don't want to skip around because there's so many things I want to touch on. It was really a big time experience on a bunch of different levels. I mean, the first thing was to drive up and coming up to the clubhouse and seeing the Pete Dye statue and the fact that this whole golf course is on the ocean. This isn't one of the holes is on the ocean, or it kind of sneaks its way out into a peninsula that's on the ocean. Yeah. This is link style all along the ocean. From the driving range, you can see the ocean.
Yeah, so the clubhouse sits on the ocean. They had built that, I don't know, maybe, probably 17 years ago, right out on the ocean. I mean,
so one of the most dramatic entranceways, you know, the guy grabs your club, you open the big door to the clubhouse, you look across what looks like a parlor, almost like an entranceway, and then there's a piece of pane glass that has to be 15 feet tall, 25 feet wide, and it's framed by the porch, and all you see is the ocean. Yeah. And it's spectacular. It's one of the most dramatic entranceways. It's definitely the kind of place I'm going to get after I move out of my parents' house. You know, I think that's the kind of thing that defines me. But I was blown away. And then I fell in love with locker rooms. But again, freak homes.
This guy, you still got it?
I got Kiawah. I didn't take all the combs, but I may have taken more than one. All right.
Yeah, cool locker room. Pro shop's awesome.
The restaurant we didn't get to until later.
Well, yeah, the restaurant. Yeah, well, the restaurant over to the side.
In the bar.
Yeah, we were in the Ryder Cup bar. They call that the Ryder Cup bar. This round part of the bar.
So, 360 or 180 degree view of the ocean while you sit there and have
practice green, 18 green.
Yeah,
yeah. I didn't even show you off to the right is like where it's like this. I don't know. It's like a fairway almost, and that's where they do their weddings. I didn't even show you that. Yeah.
So that was the thing that got me was they really embraced the fact that they hosted the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
There's a lot of awesome memorabilia from the Ryder Cup. The tap room is called the Ryder Cup room, and the guys, and we'll get into it in a minute because I don't want to skip ahead. They talk about the pros playing out there, and especially in the Ryder Cup, with such reverence, like the best in the world came and played our house. It's you know, it'd be like if Mick Jagger spent the night in your guest room. You know, that's the way these guys talk about it. Like that's you know.
And if you guys don't know the history of the Ocean Course, it opened in they started building it in '89. Hurricane Hugo came through in '89, wiped a bunch of stuff out, wiped out some of the stuff that they had started. And then they started kind of fresh in '89 after that. The course held the 1991 Ryder Cup, and nobody had played it yet.
Oh, wow.
It hadn't even been open yet. And they actually built this course. The Ocean Course got the bid for the Ryder Cup before it was even built, which is crazy. Wow. So these guys were the first people to play it. And they didn't know what to expect. They just knew it was a Pete Dye course. It was built for like the Ryder Cup. He was going to make it tough. And I mean, the Ryder Cup. I mean, I don't know all the history of Ryder Cup, but working there, to me, '91 Ryder Cup is famous.
Yeah,
because of a lot of how it ended, and a couple putts were missed, a couple putts were made, and the Americans ended up tying and keeping the cup.
Yep.
And they all ran out into the ocean and jumped in the ocean. It was awesome.
So one of the things that I thought was outstanding was the minute you stepped on property, it was like old home week. That I can't believe the tenure of the caddies that are out there. Guys are out there for 10 years, 15 years, 20, 24 years.
Yeah.
And you show up and it's like old home week. To me, it looked like you'd never left. Hey, a big hug, and then they would have thrown a loop on you. You could have got 18 in that day.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's definitely a cool, like when I worked there, it was a really cool family of, I would say there was probably 50 of us, guys that all like kind of hung together, looped together, played golf together, drank together, went to the beach together. There was like 50. There was probably a total of 100 of us at any given point, but there was the 50 core guys, and it was still cool to see, a bunch of them still looping.
They love it. I said that afterwards. I really was looking forward to this podcast because I said to my wife, I said these guys, first off, they make a tremendous living out there. Second, they're in fantastic shape from all the walking they do.
Yeah, man.
Third, they party like they're frat boys still.
True story.
And it's a brotherhood. Like you ever get together with a bunch of firefighters? And that are all from the same house.
Yeah.
Or, you don't get a lot of many anymore, but when you get a bunch of Vietnam guys together, they're just like, hey, that's the way you guys are as caddies. It's like this fraternity that you guys have that, quite honestly, I was so jealous of. I told my wife I'm quitting my job. I'm going to caddy at Kiawah.
Yeah, you want to move in with Puddles?
He's got 3 bedrooms, man. He's only using one. Commute together. It's going to be amazing. It was something to behold, though. It really was.
Well, I'm glad you really did enjoy all of that part. But what about the golf, dude?
So,
walking only.
Walking only, which is what we were after.
Yeah.
Taking a caddy, but here's what I thought was really cool. You went out of your way for me. Rybo caddy for you and me.
Yep.
Now you kept saying it, and I'm like, I don't know who Rybo is. And Puddles, which I thought was cool, is a top 10 caddy out there. But he got the caddy master to caddy for him.
Yeah.
And I even asked, I'm like, you guys caddy for each other? And like, Puddles is our boy. This is, he feels like playing. We're gonna caddy for him. And it was just like, it was so weird to see. It was like if we were all worked in a kitchen together and at a fancy restaurant, and I was gonna bring a date to the restaurant, and everybody else is like, we got you, fam. We're gonna make your favorite dinner. We're not gonna charge you for it. It was that kind of thing. So Puddles, who doesn't play a lot, still a good stick.
Yeah.
Hit the ball well. And then you and I get a chance to go out there. We knock everything out of our bag to lighten it up for Rybo, and immediately this guy puts you at ease. Immediately.
Oh, dude.
I'm like, I've never had a caddy like this before. My heart's pounding. We're on the course. It's raining, right? We're not sure if we're gonna get one hole in or we're gonna get wiped off the course.
Well, how'd we get to the first tee?
Oh, dude, in the golf cart, I do the golf cart limo,
Yeah.
the 8-passenger, because the first tee box is so far away from the driving range. It's got to be a quarter mile.
Yeah.
Right. That you pull up. They got a driver. One of the caddies in the front, one in the back. The foursome in there, and away we go. And I'm like, this is
my daughter Taylor came with us.
Oh, dude.
She was born in Charleston, so I made her take the trip into Charleston so we could see the house that she was born in. Well, she wasn't born in the house, but
it's Charleston, little home birth. We saw the hospital.
But she was a trooper. She came out with us, stuck it out in the hurricane.
I gotta send it to you guys. I get the picture of her hitting off the first tee.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. I got a video.
Nice.
Yep.
Very cool.
So first hole sets up. It's it just looks like a pretty straightforward par 4, but hey, hands you the driver, 370, aim at that tree, go ahead. And I'm like, okay.
Then you did it.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then it's like, hey, do this. It's a 6-iron. Here you go. He had me gauged after 2 holes.
Yeah.
You know what I should be hitting. I hit a draw. It was like we were in sync within 2 holes.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
You got to love that, though, because, all of a sudden it turns into, like you were saying, you're like, I asked you about the holes. Mm-hmm. And you were like, dude, I can't remember the holes because I didn't have to think out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just hitting a ball, and then I'm going to talk with him, and then I'm going to hit the ball, and then I'm going to talk with him. So
it's the first time I thought about it. It's the same thing like working out at the gym with you. It's that an hour with you flies by, and I'm not thinking about the exercise I'm doing. I'm not thinking about where the freaking seat
weights
goes
I'm doing.
or anything. Just we're bullshitting, and I'm exercising. At the end, you get a great workout in, but you never think about it.
Yeah.
This was the same thing, but he'd brag up the thing, and I'd be like, "How far is this carry?" Like you said, everyone's got a tremendous carry, and I'm like, "I don't think I hit the ball that far." He's like, no, it's only
number
one.
3. You're like.
I'm like, how far is that? It'll take 300 yards of carry, But the wind did. I mean, it's on the ocean. The wind's always up.
The wind is always up. So the wind is always. So that island actually sits west to east. So when we pulled onto the island, we pulled on over here and then drove all the way over to here. Mm-hmm. Right. So the wind is normally coming out of the south and blowing northeast. And you can see it in those trees that they're kind of sweeping over.
Yeah.
Well, with this hurricane or tropical storm coming in, actually the wind was blowing northwest. Mm-hmm. So the course was designed for the predominant wind. We did not have the predominant wind today. Although it wasn't blowing out of the north, it was blowing south but blowing opposite way. It was tremendously tougher. And obviously a little bit more than normal.
But
there's normally like a 1 club win.
1 club win?
Yeah, this was 4 clubs.
I can't tell you how many times Rybo goes, he's like, you got nice drive, man. He's like, you got like 147 in. He's like, I play it like 200. And he's just shaking his head. I'm like, are you just rounding it off to the nearest 200 every time?
No, because you know what the problem is if you hit anything less than, let's say you hit your 5 iron, your 175, 180, and it just catches a little bit, it's freaking done. Not only is it done coming back, but it's also just at the mercy of whichever way that wind blows. So you actually have to you almost have to get it past the green and let it come down.
The last par 5 we played has a big crescent green, and in front of the green is this giant waste area. And he's like, "All right, buddy." He's like, "Just want you to play it to the front. Don't get crazy with it." But I'd already hit driver and 3 wood, so I still got a mile to go. No problem. I'm gonna smoke this thing.
You were probably, I think you were sitting on the 150 marker. That pin was back left, so it was 160 pin.
So I'm hitting my 200 club. And I get it up in the air, and this 35-mile-an-hour wind grabs it and throws it. It grabs the ball and throws it left right into the waist area.
Down 20 feet.
20 feet below the hole, and he's like, bad luck, dude. I'm like, what was I supposed to do? I'm like, how do you play that?
Just aim right.
There was no more aiming right. I was aiming in the ocean.
Yeah, it's hard, especially with your ball. If it's spinning left, it's just gonna do it.
So that was what's cool is this traditional link style course, which there's nothing traditional about it other than it goes out and back.
Yeah.
When you're going out, the wind's coming off the ocean this way. I'm hitting the draw up into the wind, and it's just straightening it out. You can't hook it. It almost feels like the golf gods are like, these are your holes, Adam. Swing as hard as you want.
Well, I told you. I said, listen, enjoy it now, brother, because we're about to turn.
We start coming back, and I get the littlest draw. And it's like,
all right. So you did. So 10 you bogeyed, only because you didn't get up and down. 11 you bogeyed because you didn't get up and down. 12 you parred from almost being in the water. You were like on the railroad ties.
Yep.
13 you parred from across the bridge.
That's such a cool hole.
And then we turned.
So that was with the wind.
3.
The wind wasn't with us. It just happened to be. It was hurting a draw.
It was
and helping a little bit.
It was helping, but preventing a hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we make the turn, and the first 4 out, I'm like 2 over. We make the turn back, and there's this beautiful par 3, and everybody's like, "Isn't it beautiful?" This and that. I walked off of that son of a bitch with a 7. I just made a 7 on a par 3.
Dude, you hit the ball, and so like we said on the previous hole, the wind was preventing the hook.
Yep.
The next one, it was magnifying the hook, and you were on 15 T-box, which is probably 30 yards short of the green and 50 yards left of the green. That's where your ball was.
That ball was so far away, and the green from that direction feels like it's about 5 yards wide, and it's about about 15, 20 feet in the air.
Yeah.
So I chipped over the green back and forth 3 times. Yeah. I felt like Jamie Paddock. I got to be honest with you.
So
with chipping over the green.
So I was sitting there talking with Puddles and his caddy, and I was there. My ball was there, but I was letting Taylor putt for me.
Yep.
And we were just sitting there talking, and you're just like, zoom, zoom. And we were just talking, having a full conversation, and we just see you going back.
Oh, So took a nice, what's 5 over par on one hole?
No,
that's a quad.
Yeah.
That was quad.
Yeah.
All right, so a quad.
Yeah.
And then 15, the par 5.
No, next one's 15 is you had a crappy lie on your drive.
Oh, on those.
And you had to kind of chip out.
Yeah.
And then on, and then 2
putt, so bogey.
Bogey.
Yep.
16 was the par 5 where he said Dustin Johnson was here.
Oh, this was hysterical. So one of the things that, and I really appreciate it, Mike, more than you know, is, and we'll get back to how we tortured these guys, because I find out that Rybo is 24 years a caddy at Kiawah. He's one of the oldest. We're probably the same age. Maybe he's a year or two younger, a year or two older.
Yeah, I think he just turned 47.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's exactly my age, right? So 24 years out of Kiawah, but he caddies on the Corn Ferry Tour, LPGA, Senior PGA. He's been on tour events. He travels the world. A little bit tougher for him these days. And happy birthday to his son, by the way, who just turned 4. But he's a real caddy. Not that nobody, you're not, nobody else.
Yeah.
But he's like tour quality caddy.
Yeah.
And once he started telling stories about like what it's like to be on tour and to be a caddy, I started getting like just a little depressed because when he started talking about like, hey, when Dustin Johnson was out here to Kiawah, he hit the ball the exact same place you did on your drive. And I go, yeah? And he goes, yeah, but he hit it from that tee back there. And he looked back, and I swear to God, it was 200 yards behind us. It was
far.
so far away. And I go, oh, my God. And the more he talked about stuff, like here's how I help the guys gauge and, and stuff like that, I realized like how far away my game is. The thing that got me, and I love this, I loved it so much, I'm trying to chip up this hill, and he gets over there, and he cups his hands like this, and he stands here, and he goes, I want you to chip the ball like you're chipping it into my hands. And I'm like, yes. And he
what hole was that?
On 14, on the par 3, because I'm struggling to get up there, and he's like, you can't hit it into the hill or it'll come back down. You have to hit it on, but you just have to get it on the front or you're going to hit it over. And he's like, and he's standing there, and I'm 20 feet below him. He's like, chip it like you're going to chip it into my hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it gave me the confidence, not the ability, but the confidence. Like, yeah, I'll chip it like I'm chipping it into it. And I flew over the green again, and I'm like, but a great player would be able to execute that shot,
Yeah.
And I was like, I started getting like a little like.
It's just a different thought process that these guys play. And listen, don't get me wrong. Those guys come out to the ocean course and they struggle too.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's the.
You said the one guy walked off the course. The one pro was like, enough of this, and just turned. It just
a lot of the guys, they're like, I'll never play there again.
So I did get to the point where I started laughing. And Rybo goes, "What?" I go, I'm gassed, dude. I'm so tired. I said, I feel like I'm just leaning into the wind as we're walking. It's like being held back by the hand of God.
So what'd you think of 17, par 3 over the water?
So one of the most beautiful holes I've ever played.
Yeah.
The hole basically looks like water on the entire right and in front of the green, and then
2 bunkers in your bailout area.
To this little thin green, and I'm like, this is perfect. I'm like, it was like 175.
Playing 200.
Everything's playing 200. And it was the first time I was like, I have to aim over. I felt like Mike Romano before you fixed your slice.
Yeah.
I have to aim over the water and let it fade or draw back in. And I thought I hit it pure about 25 yards short of the green. I was like, good God. Just couldn't bring enough club, but that was pretty.
They always have grandstands behind that green, and the guys are always talking about, like the pros are always like, hey, listen, if I'm in the lead coming in the final stretch, I'm flying it into those grandstands so I can get a free drop. That's what they all talk about, dude.
It was outrageous. And then 18, what a beautiful, magnificent finishing hole.
Yeah.
Unreachable par 4.
That day definitely was. Yeah. I mean, it's still a long par. I mean, dude, I piped the drive. I was up top. Yeah. I hit 3-wood out to the right, and I'm trying to like just stay away from the bunkers left. Dude, it got over the tall stuff and then came back and landed in the tall stuff.
And what'd you have in? Driver, 3-wood?
6 iron. Yeah.
Into the par 4.
Yeah, par 4.
Not 5, par 4. I screwed that hole up for double, and so I ended up shooting 40 on the front.
Nice job.
Smooth 48 on the back.
Nice job.
But you called your shot. You go, everybody thinks that they're playing Kiawah professionally until about 13 or 14. And then they go, hey, why don't we just have some fun the rest of the way in?
Yeah.
And after 14, I was like, we're just playing for fun, right, guys?
Yep. Yeah, dude, it'll do that to you. I mean, again, we always caddied for a lot of, guys' trips. Yeah. The 12 guys that come down from New York, New Jersey, whatever, and they got all their buddies, and they got some matches going and stuff like that. But it never goes happily.
Yeah.
They're happy that he played it, and they walk off respecting the course.
Yeah.
But the guys who shot 78, 75 of the other courses, they walk off there with an 88, and they're like, damn. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing, man. It was it's a humbling place because there's nothing you can do about it. There's literally nothing you can do about this. You're just gonna take your lumps.
Take your lumps, man, because guess what? When that wind is doing that to you, you just play for bogeys on those par 4s. Play for bogeys, par 5s, play for bogey, man. The par 3s.
I did. I shot even bogey golf, I think.
The par 3s.
Play for bogey.
Well, here's the deal. 17, you made par there. You drained a putt there.
Yep, and make it a 15-footer.
Yeah. But the other par 3, not so much. But, dude.
First 7 on a par 3 this year.
I mean, I don't think are you upset with an 88?
Only because I shot 40 on the front. Yeah. I at 81, 82, I'd have been okay, completely reasonable. But that 88 was just a
Well, what if it was
ass.
44, 44?
I think that would have been more palatable.
Yeah, it's the 40, 48.
So years ago, I'd never shot under par, and I played Mohawk, just this 9-hole course that's local. Mohawk. Yeah. And it's an old course and some short holes, and it's gettable. And I birdied the first hole, and I parred 7 in a row, and then I took a double bogey, and I was crushed. And I was playing with Jamie because I shot one over after being 1 under for 8 consecutive holes. And Jamie said to me, she goes, you wouldn't have been upset at all if you would have double bogeyed the first hole and birdied the last hole. Yeah. She goes, you'd have loved the fact that you shot 1 over, right? Yeah. But the fact that you had it right there, and it was it was the same thing. I had it.
One of the things, and we talked about it, you put your score in the gin.
Yeah.
And when you put it in hole by hole, it'll adjust it.
Yeah.
Because you can't take a 7.
No.
Right? But if you put in your total score of 40, 48, it would have accepted it. Yeah. Because it doesn't know what you got on all the holes.
True.
So make sure you put your scores in hole by hole.
Exactly. And I think that's the big lesson here is the handicap's there for a reason. And that 88 is never going to touch my handicap. Yeah. It'll be one of the 12 that gets dismissed. Yeah. But looking at that 88 for the next 20 rounds in a row until it falls off.
But here's the deal.
Literally, that'll be here. I'm going to have to play some extra rounns this year to make sure it's
there now.
Yeah. Debbie followed us up the coast.
But we did not get a ton of footage.
My phone was soaked. I was afraid to take it out.
DJI is not waterproof at all. No. And actually the SD slot is open.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have a cover on it.
Yeah.
Phone, everything was soaked. Dude, my bones were soaked. So we did not get a lot of footage. We do have some to prove that we were there. Yeah. But we got to go back.
They got the Rolex clock, dude.
Yeah, they got
the Rolex, big Rolex clock. So the other thing.
I think I also have $300 hoodies.
Oh, dude, I got to see my new head cover. Coming to you, a hour-long podcast just about my head cover.
Tuesday Talks.
Tuesday Talks with Adam and his head cover. I think that's coming at you for real. The thing that was funny though is you and your buddies were like, again, it was like old home week. Like if you guys were going for a walk in the woods or you were going for, a walk around the lake, that's what you guys were doing. It was the most comfortable thing. I was there on a mission like it was the Masters. Yeah. And everybody was like, yeah, it's raining kind of hard, and 9 holes. We'll go in, we'll grab some beers, get dried off and stuff. And
I asked you if you wanted the beer at the turn. You're like, no.
No. I went to Rybo, and I go. By the way, I like the feelings of guilt, like having those guys out there in the rain. I did. I'm like,
you definitely.
I'm like, you guys do. I'm like, I appreciate this.
I explained to them. I'm like, this is not on me.
So when we go, everybody's like, hey, are we good? And and I go, listen. I said, am I allowed to keep playing by myself? I'm like, you guys go in, I'm like, I'll buy lunch. Yeah. I'm like, I want to finish this. I'm like, I'll carry my own bag. I'm like, I really just want to go out.
Yeah, and, but by that time you're soaked already, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that was the thing.
Might as well make your money, right?
So the Donovan, the caddy master, who is
the Viking,
a 6'4" Viking golf god, who has these piercing blue eyes and looks like he has seen the hellfire and brimstone, right? And he's out there and he goes, I tell everybody when we play, it's gonna rain. If we start, we're gonna finish. Right? And I'm like, I'm in, dude. And he's like, but we're going to finish. And I'm like, yeah. And everybody's always like, well, we'll get through like 13. We'll turn back. He's like, and we're going to finish. And everybody's like, and we're going to finish.
I guess we're finishing.
Yeah. Hey, you got some new rain gloves, though.
Yeah, I got some rain gloves. Got a rain jacket.
You like the rain glove? With the water resistant.
The rain gloves definitely made a big difference on the back. I actually skipped the 10th hole because we got to 10 that I didn't think we were going to play. And I was like, crap, I guess I should go get some rain gloves.
I had them. Puddles had them.
Yeah.
They don't work if the rain is cold because basically then they just turn into blocks of ice. Yeah. But in nice warm rain like that, they're the best thing in the world. They actually don't work as well if they're dry.
Right.
And, again, you get a little...
Nothing was dry, though. Nothing.
Dude, and it wasn't dry when we got back.
No.
And it wasn't
still
dry.
Not dry. Still not dry.
I think I wrecked a pair of alligator FootJoys.
That's okay.
I think they're done. And they're alligator.
You're due for new ones.
I am due for new ones. Let's go FootJoys. Send them out. Just a couple of things, and if I'm repeating myself, I apologize because it's that important. I just was blown away by the camaraderie of the caddies, their love of the course, their reverence, and how tuned in they are to what's going on with the pros, the fact that they love this course so desperately. But two things that really, really blew me away about the caddies of Kiawah, which, by the way, why it's not a reality show is like I'd watch that.
Make it one.
I'd watch that over the Real Housewives of Kiawah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But those guys own the course. I thought, like, with this...
Let's hope the head pro is not watching this.
So, was it just because it was a rainy day? But, like, we took over the locker room. We took over the bar.
I think it's probably half that it was a rainy day. Also half that it's, like... I would say, let's say, not half, because that would be too many halves. I'd say a third is...
a half.
The rainy day.
Yeah.
Third is off-season. And then the third is, I think... What like some of the guys are saying that like, hey, listen, that's the biggest group of employees on the island.
Yeah.
Let's
But they like I said, like,
yeah, we sat at the bar.
Yeah, which I thought those guys wouldn't be allowed at the bar.
We couldn't do that when I worked there.
Well, you were saying though, like a caddy was an ancillary employee. Today,
and I'm glad we've come out of the basement.
Out of the dark ages?
Yeah.
Yep. So I thought that
what's funny is Lisa, when we got back, Lisa was asking like what we did afterwards. Yeah. I'm like, oh, nothing. We came home. So you guys were there that long? I'm like, yeah. She's like, Taylor, what'd they do? I'm like, oh, we went to this bar, had some food and had some drinks. Then we went to another bar, had some food, had some drinks, and then we went to another bar and had some drinks.
Well, it's funny because you don't want to drink at Kiawah for two reasons. One, it's an hour away from Charleston,
right?
And two, a Bud Light is $11.
Yeah,
which seems reasonable. It's like Disney World. The food was great there. The place is great. But then you drive a half hour and then have another something to eat and a little more something, and then you get near Puddles' house and then
you get drunk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
and then you drive back to Myrtle Beach.
Jesus.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. But like I said, the last thing is how amazing the course and the amenities and how chill it was. When we played Shingle Creek, I just remember seeing like the bottles of wine being displayed, and like everything's gilded in gold.
Yeah, you talked about that.
And it's super stuffy, right? Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's super elevated level. This is elegance, but there's like people riding like bicycles around, like beach cruise.
No dress code.
No, so we were so soaking wet. The only thing that I had in the car was what I thought I'd ride back to the house in, which was like a pair of gym shorts and my brand new Mike Strantz hoodie, right? And I was like, "Oh, can I come in?" They're like, "Yeah."
Yeah. So you know the island, the resort, is a bunch of people there, either for the week, you know, on vacation. Or people are there down for the summer, so they're all just riding their bikes around, going to the beach. You know, they're
chilling.
They're just chilling in like a tank top
Can you hang out at the beach at where the golf course is? That looks like an unbelievable beach.
Yeah, but people don't. People don't.
Yeah, I didn't see
down
anybody
further.
out.
I mean, it's all one beach.
Yeah. But that again, I didn't see anybody out there. Then again, it was 36-mile-an-hour winds and rain.
Yeah.
But I was like,
people walk the beach. They'll ride the bike on the beach and
take your dog out there. And stuff. Yeah.
But people are just all over the island, just you know, riding bikes around or jogging and stuff, and then they'll go into the ocean course, into the Ryder Cup and get his food or something. So no dress code. The place is beautiful, guys. I love it there. As soon as my kids are out of the house, I am moving back, for sure. No doubt.
It's amazing. I was blown away by it. It was every other course we play from now on is going to be held up to Kiawah for difficulty, for beauty, for ambiance, for elegance, and nobody else has got Rybo.
All right, here's the deal. Let's finish. And nobody else has Rybo.
Nobody else has got Rybo.
All right, so here's the deal. We played 4 courses on that trip.
Yeah.
Well, 5 technically.
Yeah.
We are going to do golf course reviews. We are going to start rating or reviewing all the golf courses that we play, right? Yep. And we're going to rate them on a few things.
Okay.
All right. So, not in this video. We're going to make a separate video on the 4 courses. A video for each course.
Okay.
All right. Clubhouse, which includes parking, bag drop, pro shop, setting up your tee times, and checking in.
Amount of combs that they give you.
Combs. And bathrooms, locker rooms. All right.
Okay.
Then they're going to be also rated on practice facilities. Your range, your putting greens, your chipping, your bunkers, Tot Hill Farm. Right?
Dude.
Then the course itself. Right? The layout, the fairways, the tee boxes, and all of those things. Just the course, the lushness of it, and everything like that. Okay. Yep. And then there's going to be greens, because greens are way more important than the rest of the course.
True.
Right? Obviously, you can mow a fairway and stuff like that, but a green, how they roll in, you know, undulations, things like that.
Yeah.
The bunkers are going to be a separate category, and the snack shop.
The snackability.
The snackability, right?
Exactly.
Snackability.
By the way, we're going to do a golf course etiquette tip about how to get your food on the turn. Yeah. Because some of you guys just don't know. You don't. You know, it's not a mini mart. You're not hanging out all day. Like I said, there's a right way to do it.
Yeah.
All right?
We'll do one on that.
There you go.
So that'll be everything. And here's what we'll do. We'll rate everything, and I'll figure out the point system. You rank it, and I rank it, and then we take the average.
Gotcha. I like it. I think that, you know, like Michelin has stars, or you know, something like that. We should come up with something. You know, and it shouldn't be hokey. Like this one is 1 out of 10 golf balls. It should be like 1 out of 10 Mike Strantzes.
No,
like this is 5.5 Mike Strantzes.
We can come up with something. Teas.
All right.
We'll think of
Monsters.
Something. We'll think of something.
That's it. So, but I'm looking forward to the golf course reviews because, again, you know, we're playing some top level courses. Yeah. My big thing is driving ranges. You know, I don't know why I'm falling in love with driving ranges and just the ability to practice at places and how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
You know, whether it was Bahia, Tot Hill Farms, and Kiawah are 3 of my favorites.
Or
Wachasaw, Albany Country Club. Yeah. You know, just there.
True Blue's
practice facility was spectacular.
Yeah.
Yep. But there's something that gives you the feels when you're out there. There's a video that you took at Tot Hill Farms on a beautiful summer morning with the dew is as thick as it could be,
Yeah.
the sun coming over of the driving range, and it's you and me and Maddie just, you know, knocking the rust off on the first couple of swings. And it's like,
Dude,
wow.
that course was amazing.
That place gives you some feels.
Guys, stay tuned for a lot of this stuff coming out in the next month or so.
Yeah.
Everything on this trip. We had a blast. We're gonna do it again in 2 months.
Yeah, shout out to Todd Hill Farms for new friends of the channel and to their pro staff down there inviting us down to.
And what an amazing course, man! What an amazing.
And by the way, dollar for dollar value, $90, dude.
Dude,
$90 to play that course.
So, I always thought this, right? You're not a Yankees fan, but
I'm a Yankee appreciator. You can't not
late
appreciate
'90s
them.
Yankees, right? Mm-hmm. Who was their third baseman? Do you remember?
Boone.
No.
Late
Scott
90s?
Brocious. Scott Brocious, right? But all these other guys, Tino Martinez is on first base. These guys are,
Bernie
Williams in center field and Paul O'Neill. Most valuable player. Mm-hmm. Think about that sentence. Most valuable player. Dollar for dollar should have been Scott Brocious.
So if you take ability and divide it by salary or stats divided by salary, that should be the one.
Scott Brocious, dude.
So Todd Hill
Farm is my MVP.
Is
of
the
this
Scott
trip.
Brocious of the Strands courses?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, dollar for dollar.
I mean, I think he caught the World Series winning pop fly at third base like 2 years in a row.
My favorite thing was at Todd Hill Farms. I got a chance to interview a couple of the cart guys.
Oh yeah.
And the one kid
don't ruin it for everybody.
No, but there's nothing else going on in Asheboro. I mean,
I kind of got the sense of that.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the only thing in Asheboro is Todd Hill Farms.
Well, and Kickback Jacks.
Dude. You do like you're getting to it. You like appetizers now.
Well, I mean, when they come with 12 Miller Lights, I do.
Well,
All right. That's good. You good?
Yeah, a little sad.
Let's go, dude. We'll play again.
I know, but that was a vacation I didn't want it to end, and I didn't want to come back, and I was literally like...
So the house down the street from where we stayed is for sale, so let's do it.
Yeah, $750,000.
We're going to do some crowdfunding.
There'll be
we need 800,000 people to donate us $1.
That's all.
That's it.
So we can get the Just the Tips Party Palace South of Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
And how's your family doing?
Everybody had to go back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa went to work. Riley went to Boys and Girls Club. The other girls went to California. Yeah. I'm home alone, dude. I want to go play some golf.
But we brought Hurricane Debbie back with us.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
I think we can go hit the range.
All
right,
guys. I'm Adam.
I'm Mike.
Just the tips.